It's a beautiful day here in Dallas as President and Mrs. Kennedy arrive at Love Field for what is widely regarded as the first stop on the 64 campaign trail. They are being greeted by Texas Governor John Connally and various other well-wishers. After the president leaves Love Field, he will partake in a motorcade through Dallas, and then on to the Trade Mart to deliver a speech. And here comes the motorcade. President Kennedy is seated in the rear of his limousine with the First Lady on his left. It appears that something has gone wrong with the motorcade. We are receiving reports that there has been a shooting, that shots have been fired at the motorcade. The police are on the scene. We don't know if the president's been hit. We understand that Parkland Hospital has been notified.
President Kennedy was shot during today's motorcade, but is in good condition with what the doctors are calling a superficial flesh wound to his right shoulder. The president regrets that the kickoff to our 64 campaign has been marred, but vows to continue our quest for re-election next fall.
Hello, Mr. President. Here's that information about the assassination attempt you wanted from the police. This should give you a few leads for your own investigation. That was a close call you had last week. You had the family really scared. Thank God you're okay.
Thanks, Bobby. Whoever did this isn't going to get away with it. Not if I can help it.
We'll find him. I'm sure of it. You'll probably want to look through that file for a while, so I'll leave you alone.
I'll speak with you later.
Begin interview with Mrs. Kenneth Dalton. Now, Mrs. Dalton, tell us what you saw in Dealey Plaza.
Yes, well, I heard those terrible shots ring out. There seemed to be 3 or 4 shots. And as I heard the shots, I looked up at the county records building because that's where the noise was coming from. When I looked up, I saw someone or something moving in the corner window of the 5th floor. I couldn't make anything out except that there was movement. That's all I know.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Dalton. End interview with Mrs. Kenneth Dalton. Begin interview with Elliot Balder. Now, Mr. Balder, tell us what you know about the assassination attempt.
Am I on? Okay. I know that the shots came from the county records building. My wife, my brother, and I were standing right in front of that building when the shots were fired. I'm sure they came from that building because the sound of the shots was right above us. I wish I could tell you more, but my wife and I had just come up from Austin the day before, and we were too overtaken by the whole place and all the excitement to notice anything specific.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Balder. End interview with Elliot Balder. Begin interview with Jason Alvarado. Now, Mr. Alvarado, tell us what you saw on November 22nd. I saw a rifle coming out of the window on the 5th floor of the county records building. Did you see the person who had the gun? No, I didn't. That's strange to see, but I just saw the rifle, and I heard the shots. It was just terrible. That's all we need now. Thank you for your time, Mr. Alvarado. End interview with Jason Alvarado. Begin interview with Sarah Kavanaugh. Now, Miss Kavanaugh, just tell us now what you told us before.
Okay. Well, I I guess I should start by saying that I work in the county records building. I'm a clerk there. Anyway, the week before the president came to Dallas, a man came to my desk and asked for a copy of the blueprints for the building, so I gave them to him. I really didn't think too much of it, until I heard that the shots had been fired from the records building. I think he may be the man responsible.
Can you tell us what he looked like?
He was tall, over 6 feet, and he had a sandy brown hair, and I think he had a pretty big nose. That's all I remember.
Thank you for your time, Miss Kavanaugh. End interview with Sarah Kavanaugh.
Tompkins.
Hello, Detective Tompkins? This is Jack Kennedy.
Hello, Mr. President. How can I help you?
I received the FBI folder on the investigation, and I was wondering if you could give me any more information.
I'm afraid that everything we know at this time is in that folder, sir. But we are constantly working to get more information.
Will you let me know if you learn anything new?
Of course, sir. The minute we learn anything new, we'll let you know.
Thank you for your time, Detective.
Hello?
Hello, Miss Kavanaugh? This is Jack Kennedy.
Is this some kind of joke?
I'm not joking, Miss Kavanaugh. I'm really Jack Kennedy. I just want to ask you a few questions about the shooting. Would you mind talking with me?
Are you kidding? I'd love to talk with you. And you can call me Sarah. What would you like to know?
What do you know about the assassination attempt, Sarah?
Well, gee, the week before you came to Dallas, a man came into the county records office where I work and asked for a copy of the blueprints for the building. He seemed a little weird, but I gave them to him and he left.
Did he tell you his name?
No, he didn't. I really don't have any information about him. I'm sorry.
Is there anything you can tell me that you didn't tell the police?
Actually, I do remember one thing about him that I forgot when I was talking to the police, but it's kind of silly. The guy had really long eyelashes. I mean, really long. They looked fake, they were so long. I guess that's not exactly what you were looking for.
Not exactly, but I do appreciate your time. Thank you, Sarah. Goodbye. Let's get started, gentlemen. Jim, I want your read on the situation in Vietnam.
As you know, sir, the political situation is volatile. Diem's fall last month destabilized an already shaky situation. General Minh, the current president, appears uninterested in leading the country. We've heard rumors of another coup. Ambassador Reams believes the current regime could fall as early as January.
Yes, I'm aware of the, uncertainty. How would you characterize the overall U.S. effort toward turning back the communists, General?
Not good, sir. The 16,000 advisors we have in place can't do much. They are limited to training the South Vietnamese army. To complicate matters, the villages are proving to be a formidable supply line for the communists. While the country's peasants accept our help, they apparently side with the communists by providing food, shelter, and munitions.
We can't fight the whole damn country. We need the peasants on our side. What can we do? Are there any suggestions?
How about a propaganda blitz citing atrocities perpetrated on the Vietnamese people by the communists? Rumors circulated by our agents in the field, backed up by graphic leaflets, could do the trick.
That's an interesting idea. Have you got any suggestions, Tom?
The only way to combat such a diffused network is with a whole lot of men beating the bushes out in the countryside. If we're going to win this thing, it's going to have to go on the ground and in a big way. Our current role as advisors is next to useless.
Now you listen to me, Tom. We are in Vietnam at the request of that government. We are advisors, nothing more. Do you read me? We start getting boys killed over there and we're in big trouble politically. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, how close are we to winning this thing?
If things turn around a bit, we could be victorious in 6 to 12 months. The key is control of the Ho Chi Minh Trail, an ancient north-south supply route used by traders for centuries. The trail is really nothing more than a network of primitive paths through some of the densest jungle in the world.
I hope you're right, Paul. The last thing we want is to have our boys crawling around in the jungle. Thanks for the briefing, gentlemen. Keep me posted on new developments.
and for what's happening in Vietnam. The helicopter is finally coming of age as a weapon, proving its worth time and again in the bitter South Vietnam Jungle War. The chopper, as U.S. troops have nicknamed it, wins acclaim in rescue work, snatching wounded from otherwise inescapable death. The copter is able to swoop in on isolated rebel pockets, fire at the enemy, and immediately soar away to safety. And now for our final story. During his whirlwind tour of Florida, President Kennedy stopped off at Cape Canaveral long enough to inspect the Saturn I missile. The president was impressed by the Saturn's takeoff thrust of 1.5 million pounds. This rocket power that enables a 19,000-pound payload to be carried into space is an achievement that far surpasses the Russians in the race to the moon. That's all the news for now, so until tomorrow, good night.
Mr. President, this just arrived for you. I would have had it processed with your other mail, but it's labeled confidential, so I figured I would show it to you first.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Have a good afternoon.
May I help you?
May I speak with Bill Strachan, please?
I'm sorry. He's unable to come to the phone. He's dead.
Oh, I'm, very sorry to hear that. Who am I speaking with?
This is Sylvia Hall. I was Mr. Strachan's secretary.
Maybe you can help me, Miss Hall. Is it Miss or, Mrs.?
Miss, but you can call me Sylvia. And I don't know how much I can help you. I only started working here a few weeks ago.
I understand. Just do your best. First, how did Mr. Strachan die?
He was shot. He was walking out of the building and someone just shot him. I can't believe it. They haven't caught the guy who did it either, but the police don't think it was a random killing.
Oh, that's awful. Do they have any suspects?
No, not even one.
Sylvia, do you know anything about a juggernaut or something called the Camel?
No, I've never heard of them before. Sorry.
That's okay. Did, Mr. Strachan mention anything about the, Kennedy assassination attempt?
No, he didn't. Why are you asking all these questions anyway? Who is this?
I'm a, reporter covering the Kennedy shooting.
Well, I don't know anything about it.
Hello, sir. Where to today?
The FBI building.
Certainly, sir.
Hello, Mr. President. What brings you this way?
Hello, Catherine. You're looking lovely today. Just stopping by to speak with the director.
Of course, sir. Go right in.
Thanks, Catherine. You're a doll.
Mr. President, what a surprise. What can I do for you?
Just thought I'd come by to see how everything is going here.
Everything's running smoothly.
Great. Great. Anyway, I was, just wondering if you could give me a, update on the, crime situations in the cities.
Certainly, sir. Just give me a minute to speak with Steve down the hall. He's been studying this issue, and I believe he has an updated report in his office. It will just take me a minute. I'll be right back. I'm sorry that took me so long, sir, but I've got that report for you now.
I've, just remembered that I have a photo session with Jackie and the kids. I'm sorry, but I have to leave. Thanks for your time.
Anytime, Mr. President. Goodbye.
Where would you like to go, Mr. President?
The Jefferson Memorial.
At your service, sir.